In exercise 15, you are introduced to events and event handlers. Remember that we joined an event occurring on an HTML element with a function. In that case, the function was a built-in function called alert. In this exercise, you'll begin building your own custom function. We can create functions a few different ways. The one you'll be working with in these exercises is called an arrow function. Here's the pattern for it. Rather than try to explain functions in this video, I refer you to the instructions for this exercise. Right now, let's concentrate instead on functions in general and why we might want to create and use them. Let's say that you are building a robot cook to take care of the culinary needs of your family. One of the things you'll need RoboChef to do is dice an onion. That involves a series of steps, and whenever you hear steps, you correctly think of an algorithm. So what might the algorithm for dicing an onion be? Well, how about 1. Place the onion to be diced in front of you. 2. Cut the onion into quarter-inch slices from front to back. 3. Rotate the onion slices 90 degrees so that the slices now run from side to side. 4. Cut the slices themselves into quarter-inch slices from front to back. 5. Holding all the onion slices together, rotate them 90 degrees so that all of the slices point from side to side. That should leave the onion such that if you look directly down on it, the top surface won't have any slices. And then for one final time, cut the bundled onion slices into quarter-inch pieces, and you have a diced onion. Now, if any chefs are reading this, they are probably crying right now, and not from the onion, but from my pathetic instructions for dicing an onion. Let's just say, for the sake of this illustration, that this is the proper way to dice an onion. We have an algorithm, but we know we're going to have RoboChef dice lots of onions. So rather than writing out the set of instructions in every recipe that calls for a diced onion, we can do something much more clever. We can write a function called diceOnion. All of the steps for dicing an onion are now encapsulated in our diceOnion function. Need an onion diced? Just invoke the diceOnion function. No need to repeat all the steps. The diceOnion function has been told how to do that, and it can repeat the same task as often as we'd like. It's like having a sous chef whose specialty is dicing onions. Whenever we need an onion diced, we just go to our sous chef. Now, once we see how well this works, how much time and effort this saves for us, we go function happy. We write functions for RoboChef for the following procedures. Hard boil an egg, soft boil an egg, fry bacon, make toast, stir pot, dice a tomato, dice a celery, dice a carrot. Hey, we've got a lot of dicing functions that do the same basic thing, only to different items. Could we create a generic dice function and just pass to it the item that we want diced? Well, yes, we can. A function can have one or more arguments, a name for things we pass into the function. So we can call our new dice function and pass it an onion. Call it again and pass it a tomato, and again passing it a carrot. And that's when we realize we are going to get rich off of RoboChef. We show it to our friend Jen, who's a more experienced cook. She likes it, but points out that sometimes you don't want things diced to a quarter of an inch. You might want an item diced to a half an inch. Well, we don't want to dice 1/4 inch and another dice 1/2 inch function. That's too much like having individual functions for individual food items. But we can add another argument to our generic dice function. The first argument is the item itself. The second item, or argument, is the size of the dice. We can call dice with 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch, anything we want. That's the power of building our own custom functions. Anytime you find yourself writing the same code or a close variation of the same code, you found yourself a candidate for a function. Here are some examples of functions you might write in a real-world scenario. Calculate sales tax, where we pass in a product object and the applicable sales tax for the user's location. When the function is done, it returns the sales tax to be applied. Sanitize text, where we pass in some text and the function replaces bad words with asterisks. When the function completes, it returns the sanitized text. Summarize author, where we pass in an author object. When the function completes, it returns a paragraph of text that summarizes the author. The great thing about having these as functions is that we can use them not only multiple times in one application, but in multiple applications. Functions are fantastic. Now dig into the exercise and start getting familiar with writing your own, and I'll see you in exercise 19.